Hello, everybody. This is the Catholic Esquire coming to you again. Please check out my website, catholicesquire.org. And I am coming to you today on the day that the SSPX is dedicating and consecrating their new church in St. Mary's, Kansas, the Immaculata. They were live streaming that earlier today. I was able to catch some of it, unfortunately. I do have to work during the day, so I wasn't able to attend in person like I wanted to do so. But it really is a great day. It's a beautiful church from all the pictures I've seen. The video was amazing. And I just want to take this opportunity to say right now how grateful I am that there is the Society of St. Pius X and the SSPX and what these priests are doing. And it's really unfortunate that they come under so much criticism. Most of it is totally unwarranted. Most of it is totally baseless. And a lot of it, I'd say the majority of it, is based on ignorance. Now, let me tell you something about the SSPX. I do attend an SSPX church. It's a fairly large one here in the area. And I can tell you that it's been nothing but a blessing for me and my family. And that's not to say there isn't good things going on in other traditional communities like the FSSP. I certainly have gone to Mass at the local FSSP for quite a while before we started coming to the SSPX. Well, I don't want to talk about those other groups today. I just want to talk about the SSPX and explain to you why they're playing such an important role in the church and why we should be supporting them. To understand what's going on with the SSPX and why it's so important, you have to first understand and recognize that there is a crisis in the church. If you do not accept or believe that there is a crisis in the church, if you think everything is perfectly fine, no issues, no problems, then you're not going to understand what the SSPX is all about. You're not going to understand what Archbishop Lefebvre was doing in 1988 when he consecrated bishops without specific permission to do so. You're not going to understand any of these things. It won't make sense to you, nor quite frankly, could it be justified. But if you understand and agree that there is a crisis in the church, then that changes everything. Because you see what Archbishop Lefebvre did in 1988 that got him in so much trouble by consecrating 4 bishops, even though Pope JP2 told him, did not give him specific permission to do so. What he was doing there was preserving tradition. He was preserving the traditional Latin Mass. That's what was happening. And he needed to do it out of necessity because there's a crisis in the church. And part of the problem was that JP2, the people in the Vatican underneath him, including Cardinal Ratzinger, who became Pope Benedict the 16th, they simply were not cooperating with Archbishop Lefebvre's requests. And he tried to work with them, and he kept getting roadblocked, despite having promises that he could consecrate the bishops. Now, I'm not going to get into all the details in the story there. The point is that Archbishop Lefebvre had to do what he was doing out of necessity, and he truly believed that in his own heart. And quite honestly, what we are seeing today is that he was correct in doing so. And thanks to him, the Society of St. Pius X has the most priests of any traditional community that I'm aware of. They're continuing to opening these amazing churches like the Immaculata in St. Mary's, Kansas. And they are really doing God's work by preserving tradition and preserving traditional Catholic teaching as well. Let's not forget that. This isn't just about the Mass, although that's a big part of it. They're also preserving the traditional teachings, you see. And when you understand traditional Catholic teachings, you know there's some issues with the Second Vatican Council. There are many issues with the Second Vatican Council. And the biggest issues with them, the biggest problems with the Second Vatican Council is where it's contrary to tradition. And the SSPX has taught a lot about this. You can find their resources on their website. They have produced many excellent videos on these issues, and I encourage you to do so. So I would just like to say I'm so grateful for the SSPX, what they're doing. I can see firsthand what they're doing in the traditional Catholic community where I live. Obviously, they're doing amazing things out there in Kansas. And I actually wrote an article in defense of the SSPX on my website. You can find it at catholicesquire.org. Just put in the search SSPX and it'll come right up on the website there, and you can see that. I get into a little bit more detail there. But if you're one of these people that has a problem with the SSPX, I really have to ask you a question. Out of all the things in the church going on right now, the blasphemies, the clown masses, the rampant daily heresy coming out of the Vatican, is the SSPX really a problem? Are they really the problem here when all they're doing is celebrating the same mass that Thomas Aquinas knew, Saint Joan of Arc knew, Padre Pio knew? I mean, are they really the problem? Is that it? Because if you think so, I would suggest there's probably something wrong with you. You have an issue, and I'm not sure what it is. So, thank you, SSPX. God bless the SSPX. Please check out my article at catholicesquire.org on the SSPX. And let's all pray for good and holy priests. Have a great day.